Welcome to the Solus Plexar Show podcast, episode 6. Today we're going to be talking about building a brand and promoting your brand and how I'm minimizing distractions, but very slowly. Man, I thought there was going to be no noise, but right as I started filming this, there was lots of noise, so here I am. See how this goes. But I don't know, I think it's just all about patience, really. And that's kind of what it's like building a brand, too, because you don't know exactly what your brand is going to look like until you really envision it. You can make music for a while, like I've been doing, but if there's no promoting your brand or making a brand that people are drawn to, I don't know. You're not gonna get anywhere with your music, but you gotta brand your craft and yourself. Otherwise, excuse me. Your music will go nowhere if you don't, follow structure of how the game is. Every rapper has a brand and every label has a brand. But most rappers nowadays are their own label. I mean, not any real successful ones, because it's really hard to be independent anymore and make money. And nobody's independent, but we call it independent recording. But it's really hard doing it all yourself and then making a brand out of it. But it all comes with your name and I don't know what things you want to do, what you're rapping about, where your fan base is. You want to be able to vibe with your fans and not put shit out that your fans are going to disagree with or whatever. I'm not saying water down your shit, but be sound about what you post about, I guess. But as a reggae artist, I'm gonna attract fans that are like me, but also the music is meant to be attractive to people who are not Rasta people. But I'm not sure if there's a balance there or if it's off kilter a little bit. Need to be I don't know, marketing the music to women too. That's a huge thing, because who's listening to music? Sure, guys listen to music, but we don't really have that great of taste in music. It takes us listening to the women around us about the music that they listen to, and then we find other artists through those artists. Oh my gosh. Through all of the women in my life, not just my girlfriends. I've I've learned about so much music from all the women in my life. From my mom, she listened to Ziggy Marley when I didn't even know who Bob Marley was. I mean, before I was born, but I mean, she had his CD and stuff. But my uncle, he was all about it. I feel like he was born Rasta. But that's how I've always branded my music, though, is like Rastaman music. Even if it wasn't like, sure, it is a little bit of pop and R&B and hip hop and stuff, but I don't see anything wrong with that. Like, so many people are so extremist and can say that like hip hop is, you know, this bad, or reggae is this good, but I think it's all about how you use it too. Like what lyrics you're putting down, and if you're dissing people or whatever, it's best to just not do that stuff and just rap conscious and spit knowledge. I know people listen to, you know, modern rap and want to rap like somebody else, or want to rap about something to get respect, but it's not. It's not a game like that. Like God writes these songs through us. It's not up to us to try and project our false pride through it, because then, you know, the song will go wherever God wills it. Like, those songs aren't good. God didn't make that. That was us sinning. So, when we make good songs that don't talk about, negative things and whatnot, it helps a lot, and it helps our image. And that's part of the brand. That's what I'm trying to get to, I guess. But I love to rap about consciousness and knowledge. It's the best way to go. Like, everybody wants to rap about the streets and thinks it's gonna get them clout or something, and that's cool. Maybe that's like the way. I don't fucking know. I'm not rich. But by any means, I have not made money off of music, but I've watched a lot of people who have, and I feel like I just haven't taken the opportunities that are right for me. Like, I could have gotten out there, I could have saved money and went to LA or done something, but it's all about, making choices. Like, you can operate your music from anywhere, but are you going to be able to do shows all the time? Do you have access to like anything? Do you live in a podunk town, or is the music industry like a huge focus in your city? It's good to know these things, because I mean, when you're building a brand, you could be building a band too. So you want to have a team, and you want to have your team close to you. Like, you don't want to have to rely on DMs or anything like that. It's good to always be working with people close to you, but at the same time, it's hard to get local love, and it's hard to get people who are local to fuck with you. But at the same time, who wants to fuck with them if they're not that great? There's people in my hometown, so I don't even live there anymore, but there are people in my hometown that are lit, and they would probably fuck with me, and I should probably live there, and I'd be going hard right now, but I'm just gonna slowly work my way back there, forward there. But I don't know if that's for me. I don't know if I want to be a nomad and just, you know, podcast and live in a van and go around to different tours and try and open for different artists. And I don't know what route I want to go. So that's a big part of your branding too. What kind of artist are you going to be? Are you a performing artist? Are you some artist that just leans on your Spotify streams? Do you sell merch? Do you sell merch at your concerts? Do you headline concerts? Like, a huge thing. Like, nobody's gonna listen to your music if you don't have numbers and you don't perform. You don't have music videos. So, I think that's the next thing I need to do. When Monday rolls around, I'm always like, oh, I need a podcast. I need to pick a day of the week that I film music videos. Like, fuck. I need to designate time to these different things that are productive and cut out the bad habits in my life. Watching TV and eating and all kinds of stupid shit, Oh my gosh. I mean, you could just be dedicating time to what you love the most instead of like watching TV and helping other people succeed and watching other people succeed. Yeah, building a brand is easy, but to build a brand that like is gonna last or some, I don't even like that word, that's gonna last. To build a brand that like will succeed or like bring, lots of fans in, make them all want to see what you've got coming next or whatever, you gotta do your best to make it like constantly change and I don't know, not change at the same time. Like, don't change your name up a whole bunch of times. I don't know. Changing your name a bunch of times is cool. But, I don't know. I guess I changed my name a whole lot. uh, I like Solus Plexar. That is the brand. I've been trying to get, push my music to local people, tell people listen to my music. And every time they just brush me off or whatever. Like, it's funny. But, I mean, I guess that's what I get for being a rapper this day and age. Oh. Yeah, my record label is called Midblessed Records, and I've been rocking that record label name for a long time. It's the first one I actually made, so I guess that's the brand, right? Midblessed. It's not Solus Plexar, but Solus Plexar is like a brand of Midblessed. I don't know. Because then, like, D96 has its own branding too. Solus Plexar is more like the Psychonaut type, like, revolutionary rap type thing. And then D96 is like mythology and like some trippy shit. And like at the same time, modern. Because I like boom bap and like club type shit, but really sometimes I like making super trappy shit. That's like new school flows and bringing my voice way up high, falsettos and whatnot. I don't know. I haven't made more than one song for D96, but I could envision it. I know of one song that I do want to record. I need to write more stuff for D96. It's gonna be a good brand for sure. But I think every brand just should grow. Like cover art styles should stay the same and whatnot, but don't be afraid to like get out of the box. Draw outside the lines. It's fun making music. It really is. Like just sitting and writing a song is incredible. Like that's where it all starts, but you want to like fit your branding into your writing too. Like most rappers just rap about the same thing pretty much, but like in different ways. But not all rappers rap about the same thing. But they, find a certain few things to rap about all the time. But then there's some rappers that totally change like what they rap about. Like they might rap about that stuff sometimes, but like my favorite rappers, they don't rap about anything they used to rap about. I don't know if they just like grew up and learned something that they didn't know before, or if somebody told them to stop rapping about that stuff, or what, or if they just felt like people feel a certain type of way about those kinds of rappers. I don't think anybody should be afraid to be themselves. Like, I wish every rapper had creative freedom. Imagine like what Tupac's, uh, what like all of his different albums would be like. And he did release a lot of albums after he died, but if like if he didn't get so caught up in bullshit, like what would his albums be like? Or would they even be that great with creative freedom? Or would it just be a bunch of stuff that he likes? Or did he have creative freedom, but he knew? Huh, I don't know. I'm not a Tupac expert. I'm not an expert on rap. It's not why I made a podcast, but branding is incredible, and it can like ingrain your product, uh, your craft into people's like vision and their memory, and they'll remember who you are just from seeing your logo one time or something. Like, and to have a good name that people will remember is important too. Like, there's a little this and a little that, and they all have names that sound the same, but how's anybody supposed to remember your name when you sound like this other rapper? Your name sounds like this other rapper's. I don't see any sense in that. Some people do. I guess that's why I'm not Lil Soul. Because I don't want to have clout and attract the wrong fans and push away the fans that would probably fuck with me if I didn't have a little in front of my name. I don't know. I love making music though. I don't care what the fuck my name is. And, branding is cool. But it's all about what you got in your heart. It's not about being clever or whatever. It's about being creative. And always make sure you have good wordplay and listen to what your bars are saying. You're not just rhyming words together and trying to make something make a little bit of sense. You're supposed to be telling a story. And these songs are masterpieces. The songs I used to write were good, and I was I've always been blessed to rhyme, but now I'm starting to understand like how songs work, like how lyrics work, and how people keep listening to a song, and why people stop listening to songs. Because sometimes they're catchy as fuck. You want to listen to a whole song, but sometimes you're just like, this just goes on like this for the rest of the songs. I'm good. But like, those songs are good for like dancing too, and there's pros and cons of different, making different genres. So that's why to stay in your lane is cool, but to, not be able to be, or to not be, I don't even know how to say that. To not be put in a box is better. This is really fun. I'm so glad there's no distractions yet. Crossing my fingers. Ah. But yeah, that's my next venture is trying to make a band happen. Like I've always wanted to start a band since I was in third grade, dude. I wanted to be in a band so bad. And I almost started a band too, but I just didn't have like enough confidence. You can't have stage fright if you want to get on stage and rock the world. Like, you can't be afraid of it. There's nothing to be afraid of either. Like, if that's what you want to do, then what are you afraid of? Take the leap. That's what I'm doing now. I'm gonna take a leap, no matter what people tell me. But I've been trying to do this for a long time, and it's so hard. I haven't developed like any false pride, like I've been doing this for a long time, I'm a vet or anything like that, but it's hard, like knowing that I could do this for the rest of my life and never be successful because I haven't been successful at it yet. But I know that my time will come, and I have to have faith because there's no way I can think like that. And you shouldn't think like that either. Don't ever think that you need to give up on your craft because I've said that so many times, and every time I came back, I was making good songs. I was like, oh man, I should keep doing this. And I just kept doing it. But like, when you're in your downs, you're like, fuck, I want to just quit. And when bad things happen, you start taking studios apart and you can't record anymore. But I will be able to record soon. I just have to like really buck up. I haven't been like putting all my money towards music. Life's been hard, I guess. It hasn't been that hard lately, but it's been stressful as fuck. And it's been stressful for everybody, I'm sure. Like, I've seen what's going on the news, and I know what people act like when shit is bad on the news. So, I'm not saying my life's harder than anybody else's, but it's not all fucking roses and fucking Ferraris and fucking glasses of champagne and shit, Like, sure, I'm drinking a $3 coconut water right now, but I'm broke. That's not a good brand to have. That's not a good way to brand myself. Nobody wants to help a broke guy. Nah. I'm doing my best to put out some of the best music I've ever made. I've written a lot of stuff since the last music I dropped, but I went through a lot of phases of trying to make this kind of rap and that kind of rap, and I'm gonna make a new genre, and here I go making like this collective. Like, I didn't know what I was doing, but it's a good it's a good thing to experiment and not like go all out and drop every single thing that you make. Shouldn't always have access to recording. No. It's cool. Just make sure that you're solid in what you're talking about. Don't talk about anything that's gonna go over people's heads if it's going over your head. You don't even know what you're preaching, don't preach it. I used to rap about mythology all the time. So I know like how to do that already. And I can make D96. Kinda like what I was rapping about before, but some of the stuff I was rapping just is not good. It's just dark, negative incantations. But when you're rapping about the light and God and you're not into all that crap, like I like paganism and witchcraft is cool, but like you gotta be careful and you can't just make that shit your life. Like being a Rastaman is a real lifestyle. It's a liberty. But when you wrap yourself up in darkness, like I was rapping about like I was trying to make like witch rap. Witch rap. Like nobody's ever heard of that. And it's probably a good thing. I like Christian rap just fine. Christian rap's cool. But I don't know. I never thought that I would ever say that. I always thought that I was going to be this guy forever. And I started, going down a real dark path. Didn't even know it. Didn't even do anything bad. And I still was becoming this dark piece of shit. And dark isn't bad, I wouldn't say, but just what we say to explain things is evil. But like dark and black is not bad. I don't know why we call it black magic. Like I think all magic is just different polarities. You could see it as good or bad, but it's all on one pole or like between two poles or even three poles if you count the middle. Oh man, I'm not even making sense. But yeah, witch rap is not cool. Otherwise, they would have made like a genre instead of just rapping over beats and talking about paganism. Like reggae is a real genre, and it helped to heal the world. And a lot of people, think they're cool with their witchcraft nowadays, and it's all trendy and shit. I did that shit for 5 years, and I thought that was like my life, and I was the healer, but you gotta take a look at your life and remember your roots before you dive into something and learn about the ancestors of the entire world. You gotta learn about your ancestors. And my ancestors are a lot like the Jamaicans. And I was always into Rastafari all throughout my life. And I always wanted to be a Rastaman. So there's something about dreadlocks. Not dreadlocks, locks. The world calls them dreadlocks. There's something about them that people mystify it and they go, oh no, you can't be a mystic. You need to make money. They tell their kids that they can't subscribe to any religion that does things that is against, any way of society, which is Babylon. Like smoking. Smoking is such a bad thing. Like, don't we need change in this world? Like, how is there going to be any change if the people who are making the change aren't doing anything that's changey? Like, we just keep on doing the same old thing, but we want, the world to change. Can't just listen to the music and be like, oh yeah, that's, I'm all about that. It's all about livicating yourself to it and living it like a lifestyle, a livity. And I don't mean to preach, but it's like part of my brand now. Like reggae music, Rastaman music, Rastaman hip hop. You know, be trying to lift people up and show people that it's not all about trying to get what you want and oh, magic is gonna guide my life or whatever. Like, no, Jah guide, and Jah guide me every day. I don't need a new God today and new God tomorrow and new God the next day. Just one God. That's all it takes. It's the master healer, the master builder. There's many ways to get to Jesus, but you know, I've found the way that is right for me. I'm not saying that there is any right way, but my brand, you know, is to show people, that there's other ways and like modes of thinking. You don't have to just think of like your parents do or like your teachers told you to. You can, learn about things on the internet way better than you can learn them in school. And it's way boring in school too. But like watching TV is not good for you. But like there are tons of YouTube videos and stuff nowadays. You have way more access to like learning stuff. And learning stuff about promoting your brand too. Like the best way to promote your brand and market it is like through social media and like probably TikTok nowadays. If you have like 1,000 plus followers, you can just live stream all the time and that's how you get followers. But I feel like live streaming and showing people like the inside view of your life or whatever like behind the scenes view of your life is a good way to my goodness, a good way to like get your music out there because people see that you're a real person. People are starting to see that I'm a real person before I even put out the music I want to do. So imagine, it's time to put out some music videos from my album, maybe from my mixtapes, and make some new stuff because I have been writing like crazy and I really want to put out some music. I've been livicated to Rastafari and not eating pork for a long time. But I've only been like fully livicated for about 9 months now. And I'm just thankful that I chose this path and to like follow my roots. Because your roots is where your brand lives. it's who you are. It's not who you want to be, or like who you think you're supposed to be, or like whatever music, wants us to believe. We don't all have to be the same rapper. We're all ourselves. So that's what lived at the roots of me and making music myself. When I was first writing poetry and stuff, I was the Rasta man. I just didn't have dreadlocks. Like, I wouldn't get haircuts because I just thought, like, grow it out. See how long you can grow it. But then I grew it out again later on. Now I've been locking up my hair, and I'm thankful. I think in like 3 years I will probably be like so learned because I've learned so much in this 9 months, just in this first year of really, really, locking in and caring about the movement and the liberty itself, and caring about God, and thinking about God every day. When I'm, 3 years into this, like, I wonder where I will be. Like, I wondered who I would be when I grow up when I was a kid. And I never thought it would be this, but like, I did at the same time. I was like, I just knew that something was different about me. I don't know. Thank my dad for helping me to like find that too. We listened to a lot of Bob Marley together and had a lot of reasonings. Even if he's not a Rastafari, I think my dad's a Rastafari. And we had a lot of reasonings. He like actually agreed with me about different things. Even if he didn't, he would say that he agreed. I'm not sure. But, it's hard to get my mom or anybody who lives in this shitty state like to agree with things that I think about. Everybody just thinks I'm just a silly, you know, weirdo who thinks about things that most people don't. But I think about things that most people do. Most people are afraid of. Oh, I love this podcast. It's so much fun. Sorry I kind of just like go off the rails and talk about other shit, but it all circles around because we're thinking about the branding and whatnot. But to minimize distractions is a good thing to do too, because you can focus on your brand a whole lot and whatnot. But if there are things like blockages, obstacles, and things that are getting in your way and keeping you from doing things, like, that's not the way. The way is to make sure that you have everything that you need to succeed in music. Like, don't half-ass shit, and don't. I don't know. I don't know. There's a lot of different ways to market your music too. Like, I don't even know the best way to do it yet, but I haven't, gotten a lot of fans yet. So I don't even know why I'm making this podcast, but it's been fun. I just think like, I don't know, there've been a lot of distractions for me. Like, it's hard to like catch a time when my cats aren't bugging me, people aren't walking around and making noises, and there's like all these different things, but I've minimized them. Like today, somehow God just like tested me a little bit. He was like, give me a test. He was like, let's see if you'll flip out when there's a noise right when you're about to record. And then, like, as I've recorded this whole podcast, it's been nice and smooth. I am so thankful. This is the first podcast I've done since the first one that wasn't like full of distractions and like split up into three parts. Oh, I'm so thankful. But my brand, it never changed. Like when I was writing all of that, dark music that I was making, like I wasn't putting it out. I put out the first bit of it that I made, but then as I got deeper and deeper into it and got darker, I wasn't like recording it or releasing it. I didn't even have my studio anymore. But then eventually I built my studio again and I started thinking about God all the time. And I was recording some pretty dark music, but it wasn't bad like I was writing before. It was turning into something else. And then I found God, and there was a genre switch. And I started making like music about Egyptian stuff. And then I eventually was like, I only want to make reggae music. And now I want to make hip hop music still. Like, that's what I came in the game as. I'm not just gonna change up. My fans probably fuck with my music the way it is. So if I can make a reggae band, that's cool. And that might just be like a band of its own with its own name. It won't even be like Solus Plexar anymore. But all of my Solus Plexar stuff will be hip hop and R&B and pop and like house music and stuff. But yeah, the hits. Go check out Solus Plexar and it'll be a good time. Midbless Records. And yeah, I used to be on another record label. There are many brands I've been associated with, but we never made any music together. I had many friends all over the world, and I thought we were all gonna come together and like make some crazy shit happen, but there's so many people out there. It's oversaturated game. The music industry is, and there's so many cool people out there that will fuck with you and be like, fuck yeah, keep going and shit. But like nobody really sticks around. And it's good to get fans, not just artists who fuck with you. So like when you're networking on social media and stuff, it's good to like work with other artists too that already have a fan base, and then their fans will fuck with you and your fans will fuck with them if they don't already fuck with them. And when two brands come together, that's even cooler to me. Like one of my favorite rappers, he has a whole bunch of albums where he just has like him and some other artist. It's either a rapper or a producer, and it goes hard every time. And he like mixes the names together and stuff. I think that's pretty good branding right there. You support your people supporting your brethren that make music with you. Like, that's what I want to do. Me and my friends are gonna make some crazy shit happen this year, and it's gonna take off. Like, I always wanted to make a YouTube channel just like this, and I'm doing a podcast. I'm gonna film skateboard stuff. I want to start doing like uh, teaching people how to do tricks on YouTube, and then because that's part of the brand too. The Solus Plexar brand is I always wanted to be the skateboard rapper, and I will make some songs about skateboarding. I should talk about skateboarding in every song, but some songs are just not about skateboarding. But but I love making music. It brings me so much joy. I wrote 2 songs today, and it felt so good. Like when I can just write a song, it feels so good. But when I sit down, I'm like, I need to write a song today. Like it doesn't happen. I make a pretty good song, but when it just spontaneously happens, it's all the better. I'm so thankful that I made a brand and that I thought up a name and thought up a name for a record label. Like thought up names for albums and stuff. I always brainstormed and always came up with better and better stuff. Even if like, the first attempts at names or album names were not that great. I upgraded them in the end. Level up each time you rap, each time you try to do something, every time you make a project. Um, Make sure it's always better. And don't ever make favorite songs either. Make sure every song you put out is your favorite song. So I used to just put out everything. And I did put out everything. I deleted a whole mixtape because I did that. And it's not good to put out the songs that you don't like that much. Otherwise, you would have already put them out. So those should be put away and you should make new stuff. That's how the brand evolves and expands instead of stagnates and stays in this level that you were in. Because that's not the stuff that are being authentic in and really, grinding hard. It's just stuff that you half assed or whatever. Don't go with it. And put out low quality stuff if you want, but make sure if you're the one editing it, you do it the best you possibly can. Unless like it's out of your skill range and you have nobody to help you mix it. That was the case I was in, but I could have been working harder and really locking in on paying people to do stuff. It is so hard. But when you have a team and you all take credit for something and you have a lot of fans and you all break bread, split up money together, that is the way to be. Like, I can see that in the future. I see it in the now. Like, it's happening now. There's a way to do this, and I know that you will do well marketing and promoting your brand and building your brand. Just leave it up to God. Even if you don't believe in God, leave it up to whatever higher power you believe in. And, trust in God and trust in yourself. And know that you will be able to take flight with this brand that you're building. I believe in you. I know you are sitting here listening to this video, watching this video. You have what it takes and you care about it. And there's not a lot of music podcasts out there and stuff, but I promise you I will be here to guide you and I will help you, but I am not the guru. I'm just a guy who is brutally honest and trying to help the world. So thank you for watching the Solus Plexar Show podcast, episode 6. Building your brand, promoting and marketing your brand, and what was it? Limiting or no, I can't remember the word, but diminishing distractions. I'm distracted right now. Sidetrack to the next video. Nah, I hope you enjoyed this, and if you like this video, subscribe. I would love to get some more subscribers. Love you, fam. Peace out. Rastafari.